Ladies and gentlemen, Schizo the podcast, episode 23. My name is Miguel and I am your host. Tonight is a special night because we have a special guest. That's right. Hello, Frank. How are you doing?
Hey, yeah, doing okay. It's just waking up. It's morning here.
All right. Sorry for.
I hope I hope I sound okay.
Yeah, you sound okay. You sound perfect, actually. No feedback whatsoever. Pretty good connection. Am I clear in your end?
Yeah, you're very clear. Yeah.
All right, that's good. Uh,
Now the thing is that I can't speak too loud, so I can't project my voice too much. How about is this okay?
that's fine. Yeah, I hear you perfectly clear. That is good.
Okay.
All right. You are actually live right now. I am streaming this live. I hope that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Great.
for the people who are listening right now, you wanna introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Frank Costello, and I'm a teacher with a Buddhism group. It's called the IBA,
Mm-hmm.
International Buddhist Academy, and we are a school of Buddhism, and we're basically all around the world, and
Mm.
we are also in the Philippines too,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's where I do most of my work at the moment. I'm in Manila a lot of the year, and but right now I'm in Los Angeles where I live
Mm-hmm.
because of this pandemic. So I'll
Mm.
be here for a while.
Okay.
But yeah,
Oh, so were you in you? I know that you work in Manila for your group, but then you just went for a vacation in LA, and then now you're stuck there. Was that the case, or?
no, actually, I have to come back
Oh, okay.
to the States every now and again.
All right.
So yeah, I'm just doing my work from here. Actually, a lot of our communication with students in our school is done over Skype or Zoom, like this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
So
we
that's good to
we
hear.
don't actually, yeah. So it's very convenient as long as we have good,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So just to I'm curious actually. So are you you're like a missionary? Because I'm not sure the term in Buddhism, but is it like a missionary in a Christian term for you guys? So you're like going, as you said, you're going to different countries. Your group is present in different countries, and you are assigned in the Philippines. Maybe is that the case? Did I get that right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I prefer to call myself a teacher.
Mm, okay.
Like there's, when you say the word missionary or you use the word priest, there's
Mm-hmm.
a certain image, and maybe missionaries can't get married or they can't do stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of a lay person, let's say
Oh,
a lay
okay.
teacher.
All right. So you basically, yeah, it's not as for work, what you're doing here, is it? Did I get that right? Because you're a layperson, so it's not like you're in a ministry, something like that. So you're just maybe like a volunteer work.
No, it's not volunteer work. No, but it's part of the school. So this is
Oh,
a
okay, that's
school
good.
of Buddhism.
Mm, all right, all
Yeah,
right. Okay, I get that
and
now.
but we're based in Los Angeles.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
So, right. Is this okay? So, there's this one question that I want to know because I think there's a lot of branches of Buddhism as well, if I get that right. But because I have a friend who is a Buddhist from Tibet, is that the same Buddhism that you guys have?
Um, so yeah, Tibetan Buddhism is one kind of Buddhism, but the Buddhism that I practice and the ones that I learn is called Pure Land Buddhism.
Mm, now, what
Have
is
you
that
heard of that
exactly?
before?
No, I haven't.
Pure Land Buddhism is quite a little bit different from Tibetan Buddhism. Let's say, kind of simply speaking, Tibetan Buddhism and such is more about practicing meditation.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so that's the big difference, is that in Pure Land Buddhism, we don't do meditation. The important thing in Pure Land Buddhism is learning the teachings. So you study the doctrine, you study the teachings of Sakyamuni Buddha, and you learn them. So that's the foremost practice in Pure Land Buddhism. So we don't actually do meditation.
Okay, so like it's more on the principles, maybe the one that you apply in life. All right.
Yeah, it's about the doctrine, and you learn the doctrine. So what comes first is the teaching. So you learn the teaching first, and then you put it into practice. So that becomes the next step: teaching, practice.
Okay, I gotcha. I have a. Can I go to a few questions that I have about Buddhism, because
Sure.
you're a teacher, so for sure you're gonna have
Yes.
you're gonna have the answer that I may have. Oh,
I hope
good
so.
question. Yeah. All right. So because there are some things that I am confused with, and I think a lot of people who hear about or like they have a basic idea of what Buddhism is about the rebirth, the reincarnation, right? Your Buddhism also has that, I would assume, and
Yes.
yeah. So maybe for the audience that are listening, they would be curious about reincarnation. What I want to know is how quickly do one get to be rebirth? Like after death, do they wait for a certain amount of time before they get rebirth, or it's just all of a sudden they get reincarnated? And would you have any idea like what you're gonna be in the next life?
Okay. Very, very specific questions, huh?
Yeah.
So first of all, no, you don't have any idea of what you will be in the next life. There's no way of knowing this, right?
Okay.
So there's different worlds. So there's basically 6 different realms of existence that's taught in Buddhism. So after we die, we can be reborn into any of those worlds. It doesn't mean that as soon as you die, you're going to be born again as a human being, as reincarnation. So maybe people tend to think that once I die, I'll just get to come back again and restart. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of a simple way of understanding Buddhism, and a simple way of understanding rebirth. But it's not taught that way. Actually, it's taught that we can go into any of the 6 worlds of suffering. And the 6 worlds of suffering, one of them is the human world, right?
Okay.
One of them is the animal world, which we can see around us. One is the world of constant fighting, so a place where there's wars all the time. One is the world of hungry ghosts, where the people are always starving, and one is the world of hell. The hell is the place of the most intense suffering.
Yeah.
And the other one, then the last one, is called the world of celestial beings.
Okay.
This is the world of ample pleasure.
So it's kind of like a reward.
No, none of these 6 worlds are rewards at all, actually, because they're all of them are considered suffering. Actually, even the celestial world, because its happiness is only temporary. So this is So, but there's certain levels. So human level is towards the the higher level, right? It's under the celestial world, but still it's also a world of suffering as well, as you can see, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's no guarantee about where you'll be born. Yeah, so Sakyamuni taught that we can be born in any of those worlds, and in the past lives we have been born over and over again, countless numbers of times, in and out of these worlds continuously. So it's about life and death in a circle, right? Over and over and over again. And there is no end to a circle. And so this is the way we keep going until we find liberation from these 6 worlds of suffering.
Which is Nirvana, I think. Is that the one? Okay.
Yeah. So Sakyamuni Buddha taught about the 6 worlds of suffering, but he also taught us about liberation from the 6 worlds of suffering too. So his teachings, they gave us a clear image of what the problem is, but he also gave us the solution as well.
Okay.
So yeah. Do you know who Sakyamuni Buddha is? Is this a new?
Yeah, Sakyamuni is that's the first time I'm hearing Sakyamuni. I know like Buddha. I've researched a little bit about the history of Buddha, but is Buddha Sakyamuni? Is that the one?
Yes.
So that's his name.
Yes.
Oh, I think Buddha means like the enlightened one, right? It means the enlightened.
Yes, it does. Yeah, that's his title.
That's okay. So Buddha is the title. All right.
Yeah. But he himself was known as Siddhartha Gautama, Prince Siddhartha Gautama.
Yeah. So he's
I think most people know him.
Yeah, he's a very rich person when he was growing up, I guess. And then there was something that happened in his life, like he saw a poor person, a dead person, and a sick person, if I'm remembering that correctly. And then he like renounced everything, his riches, and then he started like doing his travels. Became I don't know if it nomad is that a right term, but he started going around and basically looking for the meaning in life. Is that a correct definition of what?
That's a good way of putting it in a few words. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So basically, you don't worship a god. You just follow the teaching of Sakyamuni. Is that correct?
Yeah, in Buddhism, there is no God, the creator, like there is a God in other religions.
Yeah. Like I'm a Christian, so I have a God. But in Buddhism, you have like just teachings basically, and then you don't like worship a God, a creator.
No, we don't. No, there's no God, the creator. But what a lot of people don't know about Buddhism is that there is a higher power, like a supreme Buddha.
Okay, all right.
So there was Sakyamuni Buddha who was on this earth 2,600 years ago, right, in northern India area, right? So he's the historical Buddha, but he taught in his teachings that in the universe there are countless numbers of Buddhas just like him on these different planets, and they're also teaching Buddhism. But there is a master, a supreme Buddha over all of these Buddhas, and that supreme Buddha is named Amida Buddha.
Okay.
And Amida, so their job, so all the Buddhas, and the job of Sakyamuni Buddha was to actually teach about the existence of Amida Buddha.
Okay. And so the Amida is also is he or she someone who came from a human as well and then achieved nirvana and then therefore became a god, or no? He's like a deity.
Not a god. No. He's there's no he or she, right? So
right.
It's no. He was never a human being. but he's kind of there's different ways to express Amida. One is infinite life, and another way is inconceivable light.
All right.
So the light of Amida shines everywhere in the universe, and his life is eternal, which is basically no beginning and no end. But it's taught that all the enlightenment, all the Buddhas who became enlightened did so through Amida.
Like his guidance.
Through his guidance. So even Sakyamuni Buddha attained his enlightenment through the guidance of Amida Buddha.
All right. I gotcha. Okay. That's something I did not know for sure. And yeah.
However, Amida is not a creator like the Christian higher power.
Yeah, all right.
Right. So Amida does not make the universe. He did not make people, and he doesn't make someone's destiny either. So it's a huge difference.
All right.
But he does guide people. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I brought up Nirvana. I know a little bit about that because of my friend. Because we had like friendly conversations about this as well. So I'm basically that's the background that I have when it comes to Buddhism. But what wasn't clear to me in our conversation is how you achieve nirvana. Because so when you die as a person in Buddhism, you go to 6 different like worlds, right? And then all of those. Oh, by the way, I have to ask. Those 6 worlds, are they stages for like of suffering? So like if you did something, or like okay, if I wasn't that bad of a person, I'll go to this type of world, or there's no stages to the suffering of the 6 worlds. It's just you get there at random.
Yeah. So everything is based on the law of cause and effect.
Okay.
Or the law, also known as the law of karma. So it basically means that we reap what we have sown. Yeah, and this applies to. So people think that the law of karma only applies to this life, and that when you die, then you can't reap any of the effects of some of the things that you did in this life. But that's not true. So there's the afterlife as well in Buddhism, and it's taught clearly that even after we die, we still reap the effects of the actions that we have done during this lifetime. And then actually the worlds after we die, we go to one of those worlds completely based on this law of cause and effect and the actions that we have done. So the worst worlds is for the worst actions.
Okay. All right. So based on karma. All right. So there are stages. Okay. Now, okay. Since we talked about karma, let's just go to stage. Karma is like a lot of people who are like don't really know about Buddhism. They also use karma, right? So like, okay, if something happened to them, it's like, okay, I got karma. Well, how would you define what karma is? Because like for what I know, it's just like it's basically a cause and effect. So there's good karma, there's bad karma. So based on what I did, I'll reap that karma. But what you're saying is like it's more than that. So can you what can you what's karma for you? Like if you can expound on that.
Okay, sure. So actually, the word karma is Sanskrit, which is the ancient Indian language, and it means action.
Okay.
So that's the meaning of its action. So it's not the result, as most people tend to think that the word karma means the result, but it actually means the action.
Okay.
Yeah. So you do good action, or you can do bad action. You You do good karma or you do bad karma. And then you get the result, right?
Okay, so we've been referring to karma as a effect, not the action. All right, okay, all right, I get it now. All right.
Yeah. And when we do an action, it's like planting a seed. So some seeds grow quicker than others. So the result will come back in its own time. We don't know when, but that's really not up to us. That's up to the universe and the conditions. When the conditions meet the cause, then the result comes about. So it's not really, we cannot control the when, we can control the how, or the things that we do. But we don't control when those results come back to us. So that can come back tomorrow, it can come back in 10 years, 20 years, or in the future lives.
The next life.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so like, yeah, I guess that would be an explanation for like when you have when you're dealt bad cards when you're alive. Like for example, you got born with some kind of a disease, so maybe you can attribute that for like a karma in the previous life. Is that a correct assumption?
Yeah, actually, everything, when we understand the law of cause and effect, everything is a result of karma, and it's always own cause, own effect. So there's three principles actually in this law. One is if you do a good action, you get a good result. If you do a bad action, you get a bad result. And my own actions bring my own results, which means that I reap only the actions that I have sown. So yeah, this is, but this can be kind of controversial because in some cases you look at a situation and you cannot see the person has done something bad, and then you start thinking, why is he or she getting this bad result? I never see them do anything bad, and so on, right? So then people get kind of confused, and they think that this thing about karma isn't real. But actually, most people don't understand the whole concept of karma. And if I talk to somebody new, like I give lectures, right? And I give lectures on Skype, 3 or 4 times a week. And if someone learns about this law of karma, we can spend probably maybe 6 hours learning about it, speaking about it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. In
Because
different
it's
sessions.
very deep, I guess, and there's a lot of questions. Like I have this one question on my mind. Like you said earlier, it's a cycle, and I'm thinking like to the very first people who are on Earth, how did for sure they won't have any karma from a previous life. Did they start as a celestial being? That's why they turn into human eventually. What's your take on that?
Yeah, so we all have this, energy, right? And so just even the earliest human beings on Earth had the energy to be born on Earth, all that time ago, but they had lived someplace else in some other form, yeah. So there's always a past. There's actually the law of cause and effects states that there's always a cause for everything to appear, for every effect, which is there has to be a cause. So why somebody was born at a certain time in a certain country, as a male or a female, to certain parents with certain intelligence and all these things, right? All this isn't an accident.
Yeah.
Everything is own cause, own effect from the past, actually. Every
Okay.
little detail. There's no exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So now I get why it might last the your conversations about karma for like 6 hours because the especially for someone who's new. Let's talk about Nirvana for a little bit because basically Nirvana is how you. So it's like an maybe not escape is not the right term, but it's like it's when you don't go to the six worlds that you mentioned, the six worlds of suffering. That's going to Nirvana, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's taught in Buddhism that we have been, you know, recirculating actually throughout the six worlds of suffering, just like a
Mm-hmm.
wheel, right?
Yes.
Over and over again. And we have never known liberation
Mm.
from suffering. We have never been free of suffering. So Sakyamuni Buddha came to teach us about the path to liberation
Mm-hmm.
from these. And so once the person achieves a certain level of enlightenment,
Mm-hmm.
then once they die, then they achieve nirvana, which
Mm.
is the moment that they go to the pure land of Amida.
Mm. Okay. So that's like a heaven. It put it like in a perspective of. So it's like the heaven of
Yes,
Buddhism. Okay.
it's a place where there is no more suffering.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you have to achieve like a certain enlightenment to achieve nirvana. Would you like? Is there a way to know for sure that when you die you're gonna be in nirvana, or that's just it's not something that you can tell?
No, that's a very good question because yes, there is a way, and um, when you it becomes crystal clear to the person when they have attained that level. It's also called absolute happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So when the person attains absolute happiness in this lifetime, then it's the happiness that doesn't fade away, that doesn't collapse. Then it becomes crystal clear to that person that when they die, they will go to the Pure Land of Amida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there is no doubts. But this isn't a belief. It isn't something that the practitioner has to try to make themselves believe, right? So this becomes an established understanding.
Okay.
This becomes from experience too, from the experience of this happiness.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's yeah. That's deep. So yeah, so in your case, you achieve this enlightenment through reading maybe, but the Tibetan Buddhism, they achieve this through meditating. That's good. That's a correct assumption.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, what I would like to know, because like we have a Bible. What do you guys use for enlightenment? What do you read, or is it something you need a teacher for that, like someone of your stature?
Yeah. Yes. So that's a good question, right? So the original teachings were given by Sakyamuni Buddha,
Mm-hmm.
and they were compiled into sutras. You've probably heard of that word, right? Before
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
sutra.
Yes. Yes.
So there's more than 7,000 sutras, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
so
he
the
taught.
sutra it means the teaching, and then the compilation of
Yes,
it, all in all, is 7,000.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. That's the complete teachings of Sakyamuni Buddha, the 7,000 sutras. So this is like the holy the holy scriptures, right? And then these teachings were passed down, and they spread around through China and then all around Asia. And then there were certain masters who were able to master these teachings and who learned them completely, who were able to read them completely and understand them, and then they passed on the teachings in these countries.
Oh wait, let me just cut you off a little. So you said completely understand because it's a different language, or it's just too deep that you can't understand it.
Yeah, both actually. So first of all, they were translated from Sanskrit into Chinese, and
Okay.
but the most important thing is their level of understanding.
Okay.
So the teacher would need to be able to read them many, many times, and then
And be enlightened enough that they can
and be
understand.
enlightened.
Okay.
Exactly, to have the true grasp of the teachings. Yeah.
All
And
right.
then they pass them on to people, like they're being passed on now today.
So you're one of those teachers then? Those
Yeah, so I am one of the teachers, and but I am learning from a teacher of
as well.
ours.
Okay.
Yeah, a teacher of ours who has been teaching for 70 years.
Okay.
So he's now 90 years old, but he has been sharing Buddhism
Oh.
since he was around 20 years old.
Okay.
And yeah, so he has a really deep understanding of the
Buddhism.
teachings. Yeah. And so he's like considered the master of the teachings now over in Japan.
Okay.
And we go to Japan usually a few times a year to learn his teachings. But at the moment, we can also learn through the webinar as well. We can hear him live. So that's the great thing about the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. You can like what we're doing now. So we can talk even
Yes,
though you're in
exactly.
LA, right? Yeah, and I'm
Yes.
here
Yeah.
in the Philippines. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. So can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
So this teacher of yours, we can maybe assume that he has he has achieved enough enlightenment to be in Nirvana. Would you say that you are like close to achieving Nirvana as well?
Yeah. How they say in Buddhism is that you are close. Once you start following Buddhism, you are pretty close to achieving Nirvana as well. You can say
Okay.
that.
All right. Okay. And so teaching is a big part as well of this one of the Nirvana.
It's a very, very big part. Actually, it's a huge part for the practitioner because you actually learn when you teach. So it's encouraged that
Okay.
so it's encouraged that the practitioner, in order to understand the teachings more, that they actually try to share it with others
Okay. Okay.
to develop their own understanding.
Yeah, because if you want to teach, you have to know, and then that's how you learn more deeper and get more
Right.
enlightened. And so it's not like a service where you have to you have to do this kind of thing in order for you to like get merits. So it's not merit based. It's just enlightenment. You have to achieve enlightenment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's the goal. So yes, the goal is to achieve that state. But actually, everything again is through cause and effect.
So it's still gonna give you good karma at the end of the day by doing the
Exactly, of course,
teachings. Yeah.
of
Okay.
course, yeah, everything that
So
you do, yes,
that's like a good side effect maybe, but the main
that's
point
right.
is the enlightenment. All
Yes,
right. Okay. Maybe I'm getting this now. A little bit. Yeah. All right. I think that's all that I have to ask when it comes to the doctrine itself, the teachings. What I want to know is just to be a little bit more relatable to the current event. What are you teaching when it comes to this pandemic? Is there a certain, because of course this is something that's causing panic, and maybe you have followers or you have students who are troubled. Do you use sutra to comfort them, or you just teach about the higher kind of teaching? Do you have that kind of thing, like something that can be applied to the daily life?
Uh, yeah, of course. Actually, I think a lot of students, they like, even like myself, because I join meetings of higher teachers, you know, and for me, having the teachings to go and listen online is the best thing in this time. This is, some people like to sit down and meditate, and I also do that too, but listening brings me the greatest kind of peace of mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So,
that's what we always recommend.
oh, and if I may, what do Buddhism teach us when it comes to having this kind of thing in the world? Is this some Can this be also attributed as a karma, as a bad karma? So did we do something as humans, maybe, or as people, that made this pandemic come to fruition?
Well, without being kind of judgmental about things,
Okay.
but in the terms of cause and effect, there's always a cause. So I think how the world is looking at it right now is kind of good, because they are trying to find out what the cause was. And
Okay.
they're looking at this place. So was it here, or was it in some laboratory or something like that? And then they want to find the cause, because they want to change the cause and make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Okay.
So this is really important, actually, that we find this cause and we don't allow it to happen again. Because, if we don't find the cause, then who knows, we could have something even worse in the future.
All
So
right.
this is really important, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I got a question on my mind. So because when it comes to this, so we can say that other people did the karma, because karma is the action. So other people did the action, but other people are uh, are suffering for it. Is karma like transferred, like the bad karma transferred to other people as well?
Yeah.
Like, for
Oh, yeah.
example, I have relatives. Oh, okay. So this is something that I heard. I'm not sure if it's true. In Thailand, or was it Malaysia? They said sometimes when people are suffering, maybe they crash their car. They just put the body on the side. They try not to help, because it's possible that that person is suffering from their karma, and if they help, what happens is the karma is passed to you. So is there truth to that?
Well, there's about 2 or 3 different questions in that statement.
Okay, yeah, sorry. uh,
So, but let me go back a little bit to
okay.
the start of your statement, right?
All right.
And if so, it's always own cause, own effect,
All right.
right? So I think you were talking about this pandemic, right?
Yes, yes.
And that if it can be, if the cause of somebody else can be transferred to, but actually it cannot be.
Okay.
But what can be influential is the condition. So the condition is something that has to be there. So this is where it gets more complicated. The law of cause and effect gets more complicated. That it's not just cause and effect, but it's law of cause, condition, and effect.
Okay.
And the condition has to be there. If you don't have the condition, you won't get the effect. So it's like if you have rice. So you have the rice seed, but if you don't have the water and the sunlight, etc., you're not going to reap rice, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, in the same way, we all have a certain kind of energy within us, a certain kind of karmic energy, right? But until the conditions appear, like we're not going to get the effect.
Okay.
And the conditions, it can be other people, it can be a situation in the world, it can be like a weather condition, or it can be, this is what's called the condition. So there's bad conditions and there's good conditions too. But the conditions only bring out the kind of energy that we have within us.
Okay.
So with this pandemic, for instance, not everybody is going to get sick because everyone doesn't have that energy within them. Some people will, and most of them will survive.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's based on the karma that they have personally, maybe.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Oh, what about the question of if you help someone, what do you call this? Paying for their karma, or like suffering for their karma. If you help them, can it be transferred, or can you be affected by that?
The short answer would be no, but I think I would need to hear more specific details, like about the question. But you cannot transfer someone's energy to somebody else. No, that's the short answer.
All right. Okay. So like whatever it is that you like, if you did something, it's only you who's gonna reap the bad karma for it.
Exactly. But also karma doesn't only mean bad, right? So
yeah, so good karma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if I help someone who's maybe suffering from their bad karma, in turn, does that give me good karma? Maybe that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. That's it. You become a good condition for that person.
Okay.
So by you assisting somebody who is suffering, that's your good action, right?
Okay. And then I can benefit for that as well. So that's like the planting of a seed.
Yeah, exactly. You're planting seed, but not only you will benefit, the two people will benefit, the other person and you. So it's kind of a win-win situation.
Okay.
So this is the good thing about actually is that we are encouraged to go and do this, is to help others, because not only by helping others do you help that person, but you also help yourself as well.
All right. Okay. That's I have much to learn, but yeah, I think I'm getting a grasp of what you're trying to say, and I guess the person who told me that the situation that he was in when he was in Thailand, so maybe that's a false translation or like interpretation of what Buddhism is. It's not the real interpretation of what Buddhism is. It's what I would guess.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of different interpretations. Yeah.
Yeah. We've already been 1 hour. Maybe you have other things to do. Are you still okay to go?
Yeah, sure. I can keep going. Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Let me check my list here. Okay. In the Philippines, This is maybe a little bit more personal or based on your viewpoint, because Philippines is a very Catholic country, right? And you're here teaching Buddhism. How is the reception of the Filipino people when it comes to Buddhism? And basically, how do they find you? How do they reach you? If someone in the Philippines hears about Buddhism and is interested in knowing about it, how do they find someone like you?
Yeah, they can contact me for sure. We have a Facebook page, and if you want, I can give you that address.
Okay, yeah, I can put it. You can just send me later on.
So,
Yeah.
sure, yeah, or they can contact me personally on Facebook, and
Frank Costello. Yeah.
yes, Frank Costello, and also we have a Skype group as well, and that's where we conduct most of our group talks. So example, tonight in the Philippines, or sorry, this morning in the Philippines at, in about 10 and a half hours at 11 a.m., I will give like a 40-minute talk on the law of karma, actually.
Okay.
And I will explain some concepts on that. And that's open to the public. There's no charge. Anybody can come, and I can give you the link for that Skype group as well, and anybody can come along and just listen if they want.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think the people in the Philippines, I've been happily surprised that although it's, a Catholic country, that I think people are really curious about Buddhism, actually. And I think what's really good is that I have learned that in the high schools in the Philippines, that the students actually learn some of the basics of Buddhism.
Oh, really?
And I've heard that so much throughout the whole country, not just
Maybe it's
everywhere.
a Chinese school. Maybe it's
No,
no. Okay.
no, it's in a world religion class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they teach them all the basics of Buddhism. So a lot of people that I talk to, they already know the basics, and it's so cool because they have this little bit of interest, and then all I'm doing is trying to generate more. But actually, I'm from Ireland, right? I was raised Catholic, but in our school we never learned about Buddhism, or we never learned about other religions. So I think in the Philippines, it's awesome that they have this world religion class, and that it makes the young people more open to learning new things.
About Buddhism, yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
How did you get to learn about like where did you hear about Buddhism in Ireland?
No, I didn't learn in Ireland. I actually learned in California when I came here first, or a few years after I came here. I was in college, and there was like a club, and I just went along to some of the meetings and started learning there. Yeah, it was about 20 years ago.
Okay, all right. That's it's a pretty long time ago. So you've been practicing when did you start teaching?
I started teaching about 7 years ago.
Okay, so fairly recent. Yeah, not a long time. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah. All right. I don't really have a lot of questions, but.
Okay.
Okay. I don't want to keep you as well. Maybe you, as you said, you're just waking up from a sleep. But thank you very much, Frank, for doing this. I really appreciate you taking the time. And then, of course, I will post the links of your classes. Do you call that classes? And then your Facebook profile as well, so that they can. If people are interested and they hear this, they can contact you directly, so that they'll learn more about Buddhism.
Yeah, that'll be wonderful. I
Yeah.
hope they. Yeah. Okay, it was nice talking to you. Thank you for all the questions. I really appreciate it. It was really good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I tried to do a little bit of research, and I asked my friend a little bit this morning about what could, like, just a refresher of what he thinks about Buddhism. But yeah, thank you so much. I am. It's 12:36 now here in the
Yeah.
Philippines, so I am getting a little bit sleepy as well. And so yeah, that's Schizo the podcast episode 23. Thank you very much, Frank. If the
Okay.
next time you wanna talk again, I don't know if this is enjoyable for you.
Sure. Let's do it again.
Yeah, but
It
yeah,
was
maybe
it was
next time
awesome.
I'm gonna have a lot more questions, and
Yeah.
based on maybe a little bit more personal stuff. But yeah, thank you very
Um,
much, Frank, and have a great day there in California, and good morning.
okay. See you then. Have a
See
good
ya.
night. Bye
All
bye.
right, bye bye.
Okay.
All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wrap for episode 23, Schizo the podcast. My name is Miguel, and good night, everybody.